Good morning, everyone. It's almost an afternoon. So let me introduce a bit about myself. My name is Soebiakto. And almost 2 decades at my experience in the marketing and media businesses. So today I will sharing to you guys about slightly what we are understanding about Indonesian digital landscape and how do you facing to understanding the new trends, the new chapters of Indonesian millennials towards their behaviors on digital, on mobile, and as in hotel industry and the travel industry, how do we prepare ourselves towards a new digital coming in? So here is actually 3 companies that I've been building before. So I've been quite sometimes in an agency business. So basically we're building like a digital agency business that cater to help clients and consumer products through a digital social media kind of things. And after that, I built a media company called Kapan Lagi Networks, so which now we are merged with one of the largest TV company called MTech. Now it's becoming Kapan Lagi Universe. And the last one that I built is the influencer marketing company called All Stars, that today I'm going to share a lot about influencer marketing. So here is some of the data that you might know that Indonesia has a lot of peak on digital penetration, especially if you're talking about the mobile penetrations. So I hope everyone is aware that when we're talking about digital market, we're talking about mobile markets too. So as you can see here, the numbers of mobile subscriber penetration in Indonesia is pretty much huge. So everyone basically, when we're talking about digital, we're talking about an internet business, that means that's a mobile business too. So the things that I also want to highlight is the domination of mobile as in behavior, as the basic Indonesian behavior, as the data from the TNS shows, from it's in the morning that people is connecting to any of the communication platform is through their digital. Even they wake up in the morning, as you can see here, there's 2 colors here, which is try to combine in between TV and mobile, which the orange color here is the mobile engagement, and the blue one is the TV engagement with the audience. As we can know, that TV is a super huge kind of the media, but mobile nowadays can pass them. So if you do more kind of advertising or marketing, the insight is mobile is a very crucial. And here's some kind of the understanding, especially if you're talking about mobile and millennials, that getting more and more people and millennials is super addicted to the mobile. So here is some kind of explanation from the expert about the millennials and mobile.
Now let's add in technology. We know that engagement with social media and our cell phones releases a chemical called dopamine. That's why when you get a text, it feels good, right? So we've all had it where you're feeling a little bit down or feeling a bit lonely, and so you send out 10 texts to 10 friends, hi, 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 because it feels good when you get a response, right? Right? It's why we count the likes. It's why we go back 10 times to see if my Instagram is growing slower, did I do something wrong? Do they not like me anymore, right? The trauma for young kids to be unfriended, right? Because we know when you get a hit of dopamine, which feels good. It's why we like it. It's why we keep going back to it. Dopamine is the exact same chemical that makes us feel good when we smoke, when we drink,
like
and when
behavior,
we gamble.
like
in other words,
the intention for the millennials
addictive.
to connect with the mobile is super huge. So it's becoming like an addiction for them. So the more consumer is engaged with the mobile, so our digital strategy should be aligning that what is our mobile strategy instead of just digital strategy. So it's the same like the big move of the super apps. It's showing like people is going to be more engaged, like the way they order foods, the way they communicating with friends, the way they're updating things, the way they consume contents, the way they order for the travel, everything is in the mobile. So that's why WeChat is overpowering the industry, especially in China, and shows that people can be connected with the mobile for the whole life, like chatting and everything. So the things about WeChat, you can see this is like
you're sitting at home
the
and
new
one day you
life in
notice your cord
China
used
that can be
You open WeChat, hit a few buttons, and a
everyday
few hours
life
later, a
that
man shows
connecting
up
with
at
the
your door
one
with some
mobile
shampoo and a
platform
big
like
vacuum.
WeChat.
Your dog gets cleaned and he looks great. You take a photo, you share it with your friends and tag the dog cleaning business. You haven't left the app.
Look at
Your
how
friend who likes Hello
engaging
Kitty
consumer,
and works a boring office job is
whether
slacking
they're
off at work and
working,
looking at
whether
WeChat.
they're
She sees the
connecting
photo
with
of
the
your
friends,
cleaning
whether
corgi.
they're
She decides she wants her
petting a
photo.
dog,
She
whether
clicks
they
the
are
tag on
going
your
to the
photo and orders
restaurant,
the same service.
everything with the
Within
WeChat.
seconds, the man with the big vacuum is on his way to her house. She pays him, and he's happy because he got paid instantly on WeChat. She starts chatting with you to thank you. Neither of you have left the app. While chatting, she tells you about a new hip noodle joint. She says, you have to come. It's a schlep, but you accept. She orders food while still at her desk. You order a taxi. She pays for the food. On the way to her house, the man with the big vacuum invests the money he earned from both of
You
you
can also
into a wealth
investing
management
things
product that's
from your
probably
mobile
a little
apps.
too risky.
So that's how
Neither of
powerful
you
is
nor the
super
man with the big
apps.
vacuum.
And I think this is how we need to prepare, because like beside ticket.com, beside Traveloka, I think people is getting more engaged with Grab, people is getting more engaged with Gojek, and Gojek is thinking after they actually engage with the transportation, they also sending things with the transportation that they have from the Gojek troops, but they also like paying things with the Gojek, they are ordering food through Gojek, and the next they're about to building like an OTT platform like Netflix under the Gojek apps too. So you can imagine how engaging people in Indonesia with this kind of apps. And also Grab is just announcing this year they're about to making some kind of a Tencent-like super apps like WhatsApp, like WeChat. So, and then this mobile domination, especially there's a few of platform that we need to focusing to understand, which is the social media and especially the content distribution platform like YouTube, like Facebook and Instagram, that how powerful is the platform towards our marketing, because they can be making any kind of message spread around the world through anyone who can share the contents. So this is where I will say content is going to be a very critical type of medium that we can actually share to our audience, our target audience here. So like what kind of content that we share? Is it an article? Is it the photos? But nowadays we all talking about the videos. The power of video is getting more engaging, that the consumer getting more seeing the experience of your hotel, of the travel experience through a video rather than just a photo or a text. So even though next year Forbes is expecting that, projecting that video will dominating the entire web traffic, 80% of the web traffic. So, and also how big is the intention for travelers when they preparing a plan to travel, or they're book any kind of accommodations is through any kind of a video. So, and I would say that the video can be shared with any type of social media platform. So, and it's getting stronger because like Facebook is almost dominating 2 billion of users, the entire world. But I will giving a highlight on the Instagram, especially in Indonesia. There's a 2 platform that are going very, very strong nowadays, which is Instagram and YouTube. So, and when you're talking about those 2 platforms, who's actually riding on those 2 platforms, which is the influencer? What we've seen previously when we do any kind of marketing campaigns or digital campaigns, you always use Facebook, you always use any kind of a search from the Google, but nowadays there's so-called influencer marketing, which Google shows the trends that people can be more relate with any kind of the offering from the brand, from the hotel, from the travel industry, through an influencer, which is called a people who's becoming more famous through their followers and subscribers, that they can becoming like a media. So you don't go directly to RCTI, you don't go directly to any magazine or any a media company, but you go directly to anybody who has 1 million of followers or a few 100,000 of followers. So this is the new trend, how actually we are facing to the millennials who can trust more than the media, which they are more trust to any of the influencer that they follow. So I will say, beside the email marketing, beside the any kind of the traditional digital media like digital banner, if you aware of anytime you go to the THINC or Liputan 6, you always see any banner there. But nowadays, the function of the banner will be a bit replaced by a few of the new type of digital marketing, which is, I will say, search is still one of the big tools, which is still a powerful tools. But video, social, and influencer, you can always combine it in one package of the way you are doing a campaigns. So this is more highlight about the influencer marketing, and I will show a few of the case or any of the project that they created by the influencer marketers. So, but I will say this is super powerful. This is going to be a new superpower by the new media. Like Kylie Jenner is one of the real case that one of the celebrity that has superpower by having a huge kind of followers, then can make any kind of a new business like a lipstick, like a cosmetic that made by the celebrity and be sold by their own distribution channel like in single Instagram channel. And then to see how powerful is it, usually like any kind of a stock market can be influenced by a big media like Financial Times, but one single tweet by Kylie Jenner can influence a market stock price, like Snapchat's stock price will go down directly after Kylie Jenner giving a tweet about it. So that's how powerful the influencer making anything, recommendation, anything about review about your products. So that's going to be a more powerful rather than the traditional media, because you can pay media, but you can hardly to influence the influencer because they can say anything about the product, anything about the experience on your hospitality or any hotels. So this is like one of the example. Selena Gomez has one of the largest followers in Instagram. She got 140 million of followers. It shows like perhaps she has more followers rather than New York Times, rather than any of the big media in the US. And one single posting from her, it could be equal to $500,000 US. It shows like how premium, how powerful, how engaging, how influential is it. Because when she said about any of the hotels that she experienced with, it might be drive a lot of attention from her followers towards that, instead of any banner that you're putting in multiple of a screen in the mobile sites too. So this is one of also an interesting case that we made, that we are inviting to Indonesia, which is one of the big influencer in New York City. His name is Casey Neistat. That he's coming to Indonesia last year that we inviting to meet the president. We have an event called Idea Fest last year. We inviting him as one of the speakers and shows how the brand will work closely with the influencer. And then there's a one time that Hotel Mulia is giving a sponsor to us to giving some of our foreign speakers to stay there. And then Casey is making a video that been viewed more than 2 million views. That before he met the president, he created a content about Jakarta, and it shows a bit about Hotel Mulia there. So it's a free advertising from Hotel Mulia.
What is it about hotel buffet breakfasts that they're just so damn good?
So it's just like the Hotel Mulia experience. And he shows about Gojek, he talking about Jakarta, he talking about how he met the president, he talking about the event that is coming.
So yeah, Jakarta. I'm here just for today, and then I fly back to New York, which is challenging since it's 2 days to fly here, 2 days to fly home. I'm only here for 1 day, but I'm here for Idea Fest. I do want to try to soak up as much of this amazing city as I can.
Look at how many of brand can be presented in one video. It shows globally, like Casey Neistat followers globally will see Indonesia, will see Jakarta, will see Hotel Mulia, will see Idea Fest, and met the president of Indonesia, Jokowi.
You ever seen those pictures of what Donald Trump's apartment
check
looks like
later
in
on
New
the
York
YouTube
City?
channel, on his channel later. This is also one of the case study of the influencer marketing nowadays that been reported last year, 2017, that there's it's a private-owned clothing company based in US that recruiting more and more their marketing budget, almost majority of their marketing budget goes to influencer marketing. And then after 1 billion in sales revenue that they got, they can share to the market that almost 70% of their sales contributed by influencer marketing channels. So it's a common way that they are always doing, like inviting most of the top tier influencer in US or in the world, being their tribe, and then inviting to any of the events. Let's say in Coachella, they inviting like almost 400 of influencer, and then they provide and book kind of the private villa and hotel, and then making some kind of experience with the influencer and talking about their brands, and even they get bigger kind of reach rather than H&M, as in their perhaps indirectly competitor as a clothing company. But H&M is sponsoring Coachella, but Revolve is not sponsoring Coachella, but they get more kind of social media impressions, up to 4 billions there. So it shows how amazing that digital industry nowadays been dominated by a lot of influencers. And this is what also doing the similar kind of industry, which is W Hotel, is creating kind of experience. So I will say that influencer marketing needs also an experience from any kind of offering. So it's not just by hiring and promoting your hotel or your any kind of travel industries, but it also the experience from them. It shows more kind of relevant kind of content instead of just promoting any kind of hotels here. So that's also the way that W Hotel is creating like a music festival. So this is a very good kind of,
it's got me blind.
This is kind of a quite great kind of example. So anytime that you're creating kind of experience, you invite an influencer marketers, then they create a content about your events, and they will stay at your hotel. So it will be creating a lot of conversation in the public, in social media, and it's becoming like earned kind of a media later on instead of your paid media here. So I see a few of also a local case study in Indonesia, like Art Hotel. So they've been quite active, especially in the art scene, in the art industry. They've been inviting a lot of the emerging artists, talents, and collaborating with one of the Generation G. I think last 2 years they've been actively to invite and making kind of the art exhibition inside the room of the hotel. So it brings more and more bloggers, vloggers, influencers, and creators coming to their hotel and making kind of a lot of content and spread towards their followers later. So, and this is a few last slide that I will share to you that how big is influencer also in Indonesia or globally that influence the travel and hotel industry. So this is one of the top travel creators in Indonesia. His name is Arif Muhammad with 1.4 million subscribers that reaching 3 million of views by one single content that shows about his honeymoon in Maldives.
Hai, kamu mau kemana?
So usually like as a vlogger, they always create a content as relevant as possible to the audience. So he always like share about his family, about his planning to the vacation. And then this is one of the nice examples. If you ask like how big is Indonesian creators, I will say every single month I met more and more newcomer, upcoming like digital darling or digital celebrities. So if you check on their Instagram, the way they picture the hotel, the way they picture the travel experience is amazing. It's like a professional photographers. So wherever you inviting them come to your hotel and making like kind of a food experience, stay experience, perhaps an exhibition, perhaps a conference, perhaps a music festival. There's so many of room that we can create a content with them. They are creatively, can create a video, they can talk to the audience. So I hope this kind of the influencer marketing can be more and engaging towards your marketing program later on. And this is the last video I will share that this is, okay, this is the last slide that I can share. Basically, now I'm actually merging 4 companies that focusing on influencer marketing from the food industry. It's called Kokiku. It's one of the largest food channel in Indonesia. Avenue is one of the leading for female influencers. Indofitgram for the youth and millennials, comedian and entertainment kind of creators. And Go Viral is one of the platform then connecting brand with the influencer within the micro influencer. Let's say you want to like campaign with thousands of influencers, so we can help by one platform. Okay, that's pretty much what I can see, I can share about the digital trends, and specifically in the influencer marketing era, which I can say hotel and travel will bring a lot of more experience, and you can work precisely by one of the influencer to boost up your marketing later then. Thank you.